Good evening, all. Let's check out the evolution of HTML and CSS. Myself, Ganesh Kumar, working here in DBG as a UI developer. So before we start, I hope we all know who is the father of World Wide Web or HTML. Anyone? Yeah, right. Tim Berners-Lee. He was a physicist and a contractor at CERN. CERN is an organization in Europe for nuclear research. In 1980, he proposed and prototyped a system called Enquire, which was a system for communicating between the researchers in CERN. And in 1989, he proposed an internet-based hypertext system. This was the very first hypertext system that was based on internet. And in 90, he specified this hypertext system as HTML. He also wrote a browser software to display that document. And he also developed a server software to host that. This was a very fast web page he created. It's still accessible in CERN website. Very basic layout, right? And this was a very fast web server he used to host that document. And it is still up and running. In 91, the first publicly available description for HTML was a document called HTML tags. There were 18 elements, around 18 elements that time, like HTML, head, body, etc. And in 92, he released HTML version 1. There were 22 elements that time, added 4 or more elements. In 94, HTML2 released. The main feature of HTML2 was using of image tag. And the one and only attribute to image tag was alt tag. No width or height, like something like that. In the same year, Håkon Viumli, nice name, right? Håkon Viumli, he proposed the concept of cascading style sheets. He was working with Tim Berners-Lee in CERN that time. In 95, HTML3 released. In HTML3, the main feature was introduction to tables. At that time, I think table is not only used for tabular data, table is used for the layout purposes also. And in 1996, web design is born. How? They were staring at me, that thinking, what a stupid question, Ganesh. Web design is born. How? Not like that. It's said to be like that because in 1996, HTML 3.2 released. With this release, it became possible to set the font, colors, and all the related things. So a complete control over the presentation look. That's why it's said to be web designer's era. And in the same year, Gisbert Bose, who was a computer scientist, joined W3C to work on CSS. He is a former chairman and current W3C staff contact for the CSS working group. In the same year, CSS1 released. The main features of CSS1 was font properties such as typeface, color for text and related backgrounds, etc. Then spacing for letters, words, line heights, etc. Then alignment of images, paragraph, etc. Then margin, border, and body. In 1998, CSS2 released. The main feature was positioning of elements, like absolute, relative, fixed, and then its C index also. Then the concept of media types, support for oral style sheets, bidirectional text, etc. came in with this release. Then font properties such as shadows introduced with this release. In the same year, HTML4 released. It was not a major release. It had some bugs. So soon after this release, all the developers started working to get ready for the next release. And this is a time for DHTML and HTML. DHTML or dynamic HTML is a umbrella term, which means a combination of a a static markup language like HTML, a client-side scripting language like JavaScript, a presentation definition language like CSS, etc. And while XHTML is a reformulation of HTML4 as an application of extensible markup language. This is the main difference between HTML, DHTML, and XHTML. In 1999, HTML 4.01 released. This was a major release, and this is the most stable version ever. All the bugs found in HTML4 got fixed with this release. And in 2004, CSS 2.1 released. This was also a bug fix release that poorly supported elements in CSS2 got fixed in this release, and all the other bugs fixed. In absolute positioning came in this CSS2 release. CSS2 release, 98. Yeah. Positioning, absolute complete positioning related. In 2008, HTML5 published as a working draft. HTML5 still is in its development stage, and hoping by end of this year, it will get recommended by W3C. And they are also planning for a release of HTML 5.1 as a working draft in 2016. Then CSS3, it's also is in its development stage. And CSS3 divides the document into modules, separate modules like font module, media query module for responsiveness, etc. And this module helps to extend the features defined in CSS2. So W3C and WordWeb. W3C, or World Wide Web Consortium, is a main international standards organization for World Wide Web. And WordWeb, Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group, is a community of people interested in evolving HTML and related technologies. So I hope you got an overview of HTML and CSS evolution, right? So the current web design trend is absolutely HTML5 and CSS3. We can have a session on trends in HTML5 and CSS3, which will be a session handled by Mr. Rahul. And before that, we should know how these stuff work, or how these things get rendered in a browser. For that, I would like to invite Mr. Shiraz, team lead from DBG. He will be taking the next session for browser high-level architecture.